Thank you. Yeah, my name is Pat Flannery. Don't represent any organization, but I do have a blog of sandiego.com. And I'm here today, by the way, 5 minutes is more than generous. I think 2 minutes would probably be sufficient for me. I also came to the Citizens Oversight Committee during the week. And I'm glad to hear the report this evening that that taxpayer watchdog organization apparently saved millions of dollars for the district. I'm glad to hear that, because that's what I'm here to talk about, particularly approximately 6 million, which I would like the board to look into. And just to make sure, as the ultimate watchdogs, that you are in fact getting value for taxpayers' money on Proposition S and Proposition N. I refer specifically to the two blocks behind us here, 15 and 16, between 15 and 16th Street, and 16 and 17th Street. I've got full details of on my blog about grant deeds and so on. But just very briefly, you're probably aware of the controversy over the sale and resale, purchase and resale of the one property, I think it's 1027 15th Street, that was written up in the San Diego Union, where an investor or a group of investors bought it for $750,000 and turned around and sold it for 1.2 something million to you. As I explained at the COC meeting earlier in the week, it's rather strange that the college did not purchase it while it was listed for 113 days in the MLS. I did actually point out at the COC that, according to my information, the listing agent had offered it to Mr. Shamu for $750, in between a number of breakdowns of the escrow during a period of a whole year. Now, that's just my information. I did see some paperwork on it, but I don't have it. And your Chancellor, Dr. Carl, insisted that that was not correct, so you might want to look into that. She said she can categorically state that the college were not offered that property, and that may be true, but I do think you should look into it, because it raises questions in the public mind. Now, the other block is a little more worrying because the numbers are larger, about 5.5 million. So we're talking about a total of about 6 million here. In the case of the the block, which is now a parking lot out there, where you're going to build the parking structure, I understand, that was acquired by a company called Intergulf and was sold to you. It was acquired by Intergulf for all on the one day. I think it was March 1st, 2005. For something like 40.9 million, and they sold it to you for 20.3 million less than a year later. Now that may be perfectly okay. As Dr. Carroll pointed out earlier in the week, you work through a public process, and sometimes it's difficult to avoid speculators. But as I understand the public process, you are entitled to go into a private session and discuss price. So the public process is, there's certain qualifications there, just like in legal matters, same with City Council. So I'm not 100% certain that that's a satisfactory explanation as to how this very shrewd investing company called Intergulf, represented by an agent who acquired all the properties on the same day. But what I would ask you to do is to just simply look into it. Ask your Chancellor to look into it and explain exactly what happened, because it does, as I said, leave a question in the public mind. And the question I would recommend that you ask, it's up to you, of course, is ask the agent who represented the purchaser. He represented the purchaser in all 3 parcels, including representing the seller on one of the parcels, and he was deeply involved in it. I won't name him here tonight, but you know who he is. So you go and find out whether or not he represented himself as representing you. Now, I was told that the person representing the purchaser the investor who bought 1027 15th Street did in fact represent himself as representing you, and I saw correspondence.
Mr. Flannery, if I can interrupt for a second, it has been 5 minutes, so if you just wrap up, please.
Really, how time flies. I pretty well said what I needed to say. I'm just appealing to you to look into those two events.
Thank you so much. Thanks, sir. Next speaker is Larry.